Whenever our neighboring countries take some action or policy measures for their country's growth, then it becomes important for us to understand that what exactly is happening in the economy and how it will also influence our economy. So, hi everyone, welcome back to Equipoise classes. I am Smriti Gupta, and in these videos, what we do is we pick up one of the economics topic directly from the newspaper. I bring the newspaper clipping here, and we read it directly from the newspaper to serve more than one purpose, which is just not only to understand the topic, but also to understand how to read newspaper if you are appearing for any exam or if you're generally interested in economics. So I'll just quickly share the screen so that we don't waste any more time, and I'll keep on speaking while reading. Okay, so in China stimulus and what it spells for India and the world. So China has done something recently, and China stimulus, how can it impact world and India? So let's just quickly give it a read, and this is by N. Madhavan. So last week, China unveiled a large economic stimulus package to boost its moribund economy. So China's economy has been facing a lot of issues, which we'll read further. That what are the issues that the economy is facing? But China recently came up with a large economic stimulus package, and it was to boost the economy. However, we are seeing, so China is world's second largest economy, and we'll see how it will impact Indian and global economic growth. Okay, so let's just quickly dive into the article, and China and the world, you can see that how China's economy is growing versus how the world economy is growing. And this is growth rate. Dark blue color में जो है वो I'll just share the pen. ओके, सो डार्क ब्लू कलर में आपको जो दिख रहा है वो वर्ल्ड का ग्रोथ रेट है, एंड जो आपको लाइट ब्लू कलर में दिख रहा है वो चाइना का ग्रोथ रेट है. सो जब आप देखते हैं वर्ल्ड का ग्रोथ रेट वर्सेस चाइना का ग्रोथ रेट, एंड इसका सोर्स जो है वो है वर्ल्ड बैंक. ठीक है, सो वर्ल्ड बैंक अगर इसका सोर्स हो जाता है, सो वर्ल्ड बैंक बोल रहा है कि 2020 में जब वर्ल्ड इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ नेगेटिव जा चुका था, सो चाइना स्टिल हैड 2.2% ऑफ द ग्रोथ. China had a major economic growth number in 2021, which was 8.4. Since then, it has been declining. It has been on a decline. So, this is the current status of, and E यहाँ पे estimated बता रहा है, because we are already in 2024. So, this is just estimated growth rate. Okay. So, how large is Chinese stimulus? Let's read question by question. So the first question says, how large is Chinese stimulus? It is quite large compared with all the piecemeal efforts Chinese policymakers had announced over the last few quarters. So the stimulus is huge. By contrast, on 24th September, the Chinese central bank, so you should understand this, the Chinese central bank cut interest rates and infused $143 billion into the banking system by cutting the reserve requirement. So if the central bank is saying that the reserve requirement, the reserves that you need to put with us is less, we don't need a lot of reserves, then the commercial bank, for commercial bank, it is easier to put across and put out the money into the economy. So the money in the economy floated, and $143 billion came into the Chinese economy. In a move to boost the stock market, the central bank also made it easy for the listed firms to buy their shares and allowed securities firm, insurers, and institutional investors to borrow funds easily. Not surprisingly, Chinese stocks posted their best week in 16 years, and the yuan jumped to 16-month high. So 16 years में सबसे ज्यादा growth देखी गई वहां पे. So what are the other measures? ये तो measures हो गए. Other measures क्या हैं? 2 days later, the Politburo of the ruling Communist Party tweaked its calendar to discuss the economy in its September meeting and resolved for the first time to arrest the property market's fall. So the property market has been seeing a fall in China, and it promised more effective counter-cyclical policies, which according to media report will take form of bond issuance worth 2 trillion yuan, almost 1.5% of gross GDP. So 1.5% of GDP would be floating into the bond issuance market, and it will serve two purposes. First of all, it will encourage spending by companies and households, and prevent local governments from collapsing. rules for buying second homes were relaxed. So there are, if you have to buy second homes, there were strict rules. Now they've been relaxed so that people can go and buy the property in Chinese market. And also mortgage and down payments reduced. So you have to put less mortgage and less down payment. So that is a win-win situation. Are these measures enough? So the Chinese economy has been in prolonged slowdown. This is a keyword, Chinese economy. So if you are beginning from class 12th as well, there's a chapter in the end of Indian economic development where we compare India's growth with that of China and Pakistan. So that is why also the current status of China really matters. And Chinese economy has been seeing a prolonged slowdown, and it was battered by a property sector in crisis, low consumer confidence, and global trade tensions that hurt its exports. So manufacturing is in decline, and the job data at its worst since December 22. Economists say that the stimulus is a bit too late. Okay, so even though the stimulus is huge, but it's a bit too late. Some say a more aggressive fiscal policy is required. So monetary policy has taken place where central bank has reduced the reserve requirement and floated $143 billion. Okay, but it's too late. And also similar to this, of you know, a similar kind of aggressive fiscal policy is also required. Okay, so that is the case. Will Chinese stimulus impact India? Chinese stock markets have risen sharply following the stimulus. If these measures work and the rally sustains, then experts say foreign institutional investors will move funds into China as the valuation of the stocks there is more attractive than in India. Okay, so FIIs who are in India or who wanted to invest in India now will move to China. Also, a sharp revival of Chinese economy could put an end to a low commodity prices that Indian companies had been enjoying. So Indian companies were getting commodities at low prices. Now it is no more the case if the Chinese economy, boosts up or it revives. On the other hand, Chinese imports from India, metals and other commodities will increase, benefiting Indian manufacturers. So if Chinese economy is revived, they will increase their production, and for increasing their production, they will import raw material from India, the metal and other commodities. So the manufacturing of those products or the manufacturers will benefit. So this is a very small perspective of the article. I would urge you guys, if you can get a hold of Mint newspaper and start reading this on the first page. Every day, first page has something, and then a topic is divided into 5 questions, and you understand that topic in depth. So I would say this is a very good way for starters, for the beginners. Uh, are just beginning reading the newspaper. Mint is a very good newspaper. They have not sponsored me at all. This is not sponsored. It's just my love for the paper that is coming out through this medium. So yeah, if something is good, then it is good, and I'm not here to de-influence. I'm just influencing you to buy a product or get a product which is valuable, which is actually a kind of a very good value addition in your life. That's it. So I hope you like this, and do like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Share your feedback, and I'll see you tomorrow with another one. Till then, keep smiling, stay healthy, keep practicing.